everybody, welcome to the second weekly wine chat for the peacefulbend.com blog. I'm Katie and I am doing a once a week segment to answer your wine questions. So if you have a question, please feel free to leave it in the comment section here on the Peaceful Bend blog or on the YouTube. And this week's question comes from Julie from the Peaceful Bend blog. Julie asks, when is it necessary to decant a wine, and for how long do you let it breathe? So there's two major reasons why we decant a wine, and before I talk about those two, what we mean by decanting is simply pouring a wine from the bottle into a different container. So we do this for two different reasons. The first one is to try to take any clear wine away from the sediment that developed in the bottle. So the older wines will have sediment, and what you do is just simply pour your clear wine off into the bottle or into your decanter, and hopefully you leave the sediment in the bottle. If you've gotten the sediment mixed into the wine, sometimes it helps to use a coffee filter. Coffee filter won't add any flavor to your wine. You just kind of put it down into your decanter, hold it in place, and then slowly pour your wine in through that coffee filter. Once the wine has drained all through, the sediment and maybe pieces of cork or whatever are left in your coffee filter, you can just take that coffee filter out and throw it away. So that's the easy way to decant the wine. The second reason why we decant wine is a little more in-depth. Wine in a sealed bottle has been in what we call a reduced atmosphere, or an atmosphere without oxygen. And we're actually used to eating all of our food and drinking our beverages bathed in oxygen. And oxygen brings out different flavors. So when you first open your bottle of wine, it's going to taste a little funny. After it's had a chance to breathe or be exposed to oxygen for a while, you'll develop more flavors and it'll taste a lot better to you. So just the process of pouring that wine into your decanter will actually mix in oxygen and help bring out those flavors in the wine. The older the wine is, the longer you've aged it, the more time you're going to want to let it breathe or be exposed to oxygen. So maybe up to an hour or so before you actually serve it. The younger the wine is, the less time it needs to breathe. And whites and rosés are typically made to be drank very early, within a year or two after they're bottled. So you almost don't even need to worry about decanting or letting that wine breathe. It's usually ready to go right out of the bottle. But those red wines, especially ones that have aged for years, you might want to take on that decanting step to get that sediment away, and then let it breathe for up to an hour, maybe half hour or so. The other thing is, if you don't have a decanting container, that's okay. You can actually let that wine breathe right in your wine glass. Again, if you have sediment in your wine, just put the coffee filter into your glass, pour a little bit of wine through it, let it drain, and then once it's drained through, you can just take that coffee filter away. Of course, it doesn't want to drain right now. Hang on. Just throw that away. And then just let that wine sit in your glass. You can swirl it to get more oxygen in a little bit faster, make it drinkable a little faster for you. But you can just let it sit in the glass for 15 minutes or so, and that wine will open up and give you its full flavor. Oh, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas yesterday, and thank you for joining me for the weekly wine chat. Again, please feel free to leave a question for me in the comment section, and myself or my husband and winemaker husband, Clyde, will do our best to answer it for you. Thank you so much, and cheers! Bye.